Colin?
Hey, Javon. I hope you're doing well. I was just curious, from a player perspective, with so much changing day to day with scheduling, have you guys had to change the preparation work you guys do to be able to stay ready for last minute changes, or are things pretty much the same for you guys?
I would say that we just going about everything kind of the same. Just making sure that we following the guidelines, but just going out there, continue to get work, making sure that we wear our mask at all times, and just making sure that we being safe.
Sweetie?
Hey, Javon, just wondering, when did you guys find out you guys are playing Oregon, and what's the kind of the preparation kind of look like for you guys?
I think maybe I don't think it was Saturday, maybe Monday. That's when we like finally knew that we was gonna play them. Like it was like an actual game that we was gonna play them on Monday. So had to turn around and get prepared these next couple of days, just lock in.
Ben?
Javon, with so many experienced players on this team, how are you guys kind of working through the process of developing roles and how each of you approach the game and fit into the way you play?
I feel like during practice, we talk about that a lot. Just making sure you know your roles. Just going out there being confident. We all know that we've been before, so we know what to expect from others, what not to expect, and then just trying to help the couple new guys that we have. But just going out there having fun, continuing to play hard. I feel like we're real confident in ourselves.
Andy?
Yeah, Javon, it seemed that in that opening game, you guys did really well in some of the transition game. Is that kind of a thing that you've wanted to be a little bit more of part of your identity in this season?
Yeah, we've been working on getting out a lot. We didn't do our best job at that, but we went back into practice, watched film on it, and just seeing areas that we can improve. And I feel like we've been doing that the past couple of days, making sure that we get out real quick and lead to easy transitions.
Eric?
Hey, Javon, just how would you describe playing basketball in 2020 for you during a pandemic? You know, just what's that process like of just all the different changes that you have to go through because you're in the middle of a pandemic?
It's been quite weird, especially getting the test all the time. That's probably the worst part. And then, just making sure that you're wearing your mask everywhere. Like, even when you come to the gym, you got to have on a mask. So, just trying to get used to that. And then not knowing when you're going to have games, sometimes that kind of throw you off a little bit. But you just got to continue to stay locked in.
Greg?
Yeah, Javon, Jeremiah talked about being more disciplined as a player and as a person. I'm wondering how you've seen that manifest in practice, and as far as avoiding fouls and the things that get you in trouble.
For Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job, especially just talking, and then if somebody come into the lane, making sure that he get his hands straight up. That he be in there in the right spot, not reaching and stuff. He's been working on that a lot, especially like in the ball screens, making sure that he don't reach in. He's been doing a great job of moving his feet, being vocal, so letting the guards know what they have to do early so they don't get him in foul trouble. And so he's been doing a great job throughout this whole year.
Mason?
Hey, Javon. So with so many upperclassmen on the roster this year, how do the established relationships and camaraderie among your teammates aid the team with all the scheduling changes that have happened thus far and will happen over the course of the season?
I feel like just communication in our group chats. We've been trying to talk a lot on what we need to do, areas that we can improve when we find out like who we playing next. Just making sure that we having those conversations in the group chat. What we need to do. We watching film on our own, watching film whenever we can so we can learn, our opponents learn to improve on ourselves. So I feel like we're doing a pretty good job with that.
Eric, do you have another one? No? All right. Anything else for Javon? All right, thanks, Javon.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll take questions for Kobe. Just, Ben.
Kobe, with so much experience on this team, and now being an experienced guy going into your second year, how are you fitting into the rotations and fitting in with everybody else while also trying to improve and make that step up from freshman to sophomore?
I'm definitely just trying to keep a level head. So I feel like so is the rest of the team. Just knowing our roles, knowing what each person's strengths are, and just staying within ourselves, and it should just all work out for us in the long run.
Colin.
Hey, Kobe, I asked Javon this too, but from your perspective, has the preparation work you guys been doing changed at all just because schedules are changing so often and you don't know maybe the next game you're going to play?
No, I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't say so. I would say we still come to practice and work hard every day, regardless of when we play again. Like the last game in the huddle right before the tip, we talked to each other and saying or Drew told us that let's go out here and have fun, play hard because we never know when we'll play again or if we'll play again after this with everything going on. So we just try to come in every day and treat it as if we have a whole season ahead of us and just keep moving day by day.
Jack.
Kobe, I was just wondering what you thought about how Mark Smith played against Oral Roberts and how he looks, kind of healthy going into this year.
Oh, yeah. Mark's looking good this year. I'm glad he's healthy. He's worked really hard to get back, to where he was. He talks about his jumping all the time. His shots always there, so he's doing good. It's hard work.
Mason.
Hey, Kobe. So from your personal perspective, what is the toughest aspect about having the schedule shift around so many times over the course of a couple days?
I would say just being locked in on, the team we're about to play, learning everything we can within the short amount of time that, we have to prepare for the team. Like the Oregon game came out of, almost basically out of nowhere. So now we have to, prepare for them, learn to scout, learn what they like to do. And it's just being able to get all that and focus on all that in a short amount of time is the biggest thing, but it's not hard to do.
Dave.
Kobe, that being said, is that easier to do when you have a veteran team who's played a lot together, when maybe you don't have as detailed of a scouting report or you don't get to spend as much time on it?
Yeah, I would say so. The basic, the fundamental basic defensive principles is all the same. And, having guys that's been here for a couple of years and like myself been here for a year or two, it's easier to, be fundamentally sound on the defensive end than it would be to teach a group of freshmen that just now can come into the level.
Bill.
Yeah, have you guys had a chance to look much at Oregon right now? And if not, just kind of explain what the next 24, 36 hours will look like getting ready for the game on short notice.
We've got a chance to look at them a little. They got a new team basically this year, so it's a lot of new guys. So we've looked at what we had, but we're just gonna play it by ear, see what's going on. They have a few guys that may or may not play, so we just have to be good with what we have going on, and just hopefully that it works out for us.
Colin, do you have another one?
Yeah, Kobe, you guys scored 91 points against Oral Roberts, but after the game, Xavier said you guys didn't really play up to your expectations and that he thinks the pace can go faster. Just what's next for you guys offensively? What is taking that next step look like for you guys?
I would say limiting our amount of turnovers, getting more paint touches, I'd say, just playing through everyone, moving the ball more. It's just everything, just, raising our levels on the offensive end and all in total.
Dave, do you have another one? Okay. Anything else for Kobe? Oh, Jack, do you have another one? All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Kobe.
We were both scheduled to play in Connecticut. It just didn't work out with changing teams, moving parts, and then obviously Dana working behind the scenes and found an opportunity in Omaha. We just felt like, let's get teams, let's make it work. Great opponent, distance-wise, for good enough proximity for us to get there and play a quality opponent. We're looking forward to it.
Joel?
Hey, Coach. Oregon kind of played like a slower game last year, ranking among like the bottom 50 teams in Division I in tempo. You guys have kind of geared towards picking up your pace from last year. When it comes to games like this, is the goal to maybe be able to adjust to paces like Oregon's or to keep up with the same fast pace?
Well, I think you want to play the way you've practiced as a team. And I think in more traditional years, Oregon would like to get up and down more. I just think the key to their team was Peyton Pritchard with new parts, and he did a great job leading and winning. Obviously, the conference player of the year, I think he might have been first team All-American, had a great year, first-round draft pick. So everything went through him. He took a lot of the shots, and he made them go, so understandably so. And I think this year they'll probably get more back to 5 guys, but I think he was the main guy, and other guys kind of fit in what they were trying to do. I think this year with their personnel, and they had 2 or 3 key guys sitting out, I think they'll try to play more like they've played in the past. But for us, it's just making good decisions. You want to push with pace, but you also want to make good decisions. You don't want to go down and turn the ball over. You still want to be sound in your decision making.
Mitch?
Cuonzo, and you're set to play a couple teams this week that haven't played a game yet this season. I'm curious, does that feel at all like it could be an advantage, obviously coming off of a strange offseason, to have playing time under your belt, or are there challenges in being able to scout teams that have had changes and haven't played a game, or is it a bit of both?
I think you can look at it both ways depending on how the first 5-10 minutes of the game can go. I just think for us, what you have to do, because Dana's probably one of the best in the business at bringing in new guys in different parts and fitting into what they're trying to do, into a system. But what he always do when he bring them in, guys have the ability to score the ball. So wherever they might lack defensively and understanding their system, they still put pressure on you offensively. And I think, just not having film, of course they got personnel on us because of the first game we played, but not having film on them is just really the style, because again, Peyton Pritchard did so much of what they were about last year. So you remove him out of that situation. Who's the main ball handler? Who's the guys that are looking to score? Who's the 4 and the 5 position? Normally there's 4 men, it's a guy that can make plays off the dribble, can shoot the ball. So those are the unknowns, but we know the guys that they had sitting out are talented players. We just don't know how they fit in yet because we hadn't seen the game film. But for us, it's just really playing how we play. We can't get caught up in, well, they might do this and might do that. We just go over some things that he's done over the course of time that that you'll probably see this, and then just prepare for personnel. So it's more, when you haven't seen a team, it's more of an individual scouting report on personnel, what this guy does well.
Ben?
Cuonzo, when we see Mark Smith doing the things that he's able to do now, that he's 100%, driving to the basket, getting out on the break, what does that do for your team in general, having him be able to add those things to the shooting?
I think it's good because, again, a guy that can stretch the defense, one. And I think Mark is more than a guy that's a catch-and-shoot guy, but I want him to be elite in that department. Don't neglect the ability to make shots. Don't frown upon the ability if somebody even says you're a catch-and-shoot guy. That's a great attribute to have, and that's a great thing to be. Now, the next part is taking advantage when teams pressure him, aggressively get up in him defensively and making plays off the dribble. But it's really just making plays that the defense close hard, I drive the ball. They all the ball. But don't go and try to make a play. You don't need to go between your legs and showing I can dribble the ball. Just read the defense and make plays. So that part is good because, again, he stretches teams. He has a reputation of making shots, and I would imagine they'll guard him the same way just because of the first game he's had. But him understanding what's the next thing when they defend him certain ways.
Andrew?
Coach, just logistically, are you guys just driving up day of game tomorrow and then driving back right afterwards?
No, we leave today. We leave today. As soon as I'm done with you wonderful people, we hitting it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Sweetie?
Because at this point, is the schedule done? Will there be more ads? I guess never know with COVID, but
Well, outside, I think we're done. We might be one more game. We might be one more. And I think it's just a matter of getting the paperwork done. I like to think we're done, but if COVID hit, and I think that means if whatever time it is to sit out. But there are also teams that we have in the works that if this happens, do you have a date available? So there's probably 3 or 4 teams that we've been in close contact with. If this game doesn't work, do you have a date? But right now I think we're set.
John?
Yeah, Cuonzo, I was just wondering about it. You guys going to Omaha? You got an Omaha kid on your roster at Chain. How's he fitting in? I know he had the illness, missed the first game, but how's he fitting in his first year with you?
Oh, he's good. He's good. He's back. He's in the fold. He's practiced the last, I guess, 3 days, so he's doing a lot better. Yes.
Bill?
Yeah, hey, Cuonzo, I don't know if I'm going to word this the right way or not, but how has your approach changed this season? Do you sweat the small stuff still, or is it more of an accomplishment just to get a game scheduled and get out there and playing? Just like I said, I may have worded that different. You may sweat the details, but just talk about how your approach is going to change this year.
Well, I think the details are very important. I think that's probably what consumes me as a coach, and sometimes you probably worry too much about them because just one of the things as a coach, you never want to be caught off guard. You always want to be prepared. The attention to detail, all those things that matters. Now, once the game is played, you want to play with confidence. You want to play with pace, with freedom. But you have to always be prepared as a coach for what next. But on the flip side of that, you don't want to consume your guys with so much stuff. Now they bog down. Now they're not playing basketball. They become robots. But for us as a coach, we always talk about, we watch film. We want to have every piece of information on that team. 2 minutes left in the game, they might do this. We will go back sometimes. 3 years ago, he ran this play late in the game, just so we're prepared for it. And that way we have to have the ability to let our guys know this might happen. But, this time of year, everybody has something new, something different. You're not going to get everything because, again, this is a team you haven't seen before. But that's where you rely on your principles, the attention to detail and all that. And then just make what we always say as a staff, especially if you hadn't seen the team a lot, after the first 5 or 10 minutes, you got a real feel for what they're about.
Jack?
Cuonzo, Tillman talked a lot in preseason about how his mind was kind of right this year, and he had double-digit rebounds in the first game. Can you talk about his performance and what you can expect from him going forward?
I thought he was solid. I didn't think he was great in the first game. I've seen him do a lot more in practice. So, and not to say he played bad. So I just thought he was. He took a hit late in the second half, not to make any excuses for him, but he finished the game. But I thought he was on pace to have a great game. But I thought he was solid. I certainly expect to see more. 12 rebounds. I think that's for him is a normal night. 12 rebounds. That's what it should be. Anything less than 10 rebounds for him, I wouldn't consider it a great night.
Greg?
Just to follow up on that point, as far as the fouls go, obviously that's been a problem for him. Finished the first game with only one. Has there been a specific point of emphasis with him on that in practice? And then I wonder if what you said about Mark Smith might also apply to Torrance Watson to a large degree.
Well, to answer with Jeremiah, no, it's just what we practice, and it's just the discipline in doing certain things, the accountability, watching film, allowing the game to come to you. And I think the biggest key with Jeremiah, the maturity of getting older, watching film to see it, because sometimes you have to see it, but even in seeing it, you have to come to grips with it. And we always say all the time, guys, you can't be afraid to look in the mirror because you have to see yourself, and you have to be truthful with yourself. And once you do that, I think you're able to grow. And I think what Torrance, very similar to Mark, and I think Torrance, just the confidence in shooting the ball. Mark has tremendous confidence every time the ball leaves his hands, every time. If I let Mark, he'll shoot it from 30 feet out. That's the level of confidence. Now, Torrance has to get that confidence, and it stays there. Then the other parts come. I mean, Mark's confidence, high level. Anytime it touches his hand, he's ready to shoot the ball.
Sweetie, did you have another one? Andrew?
Oh, that was my bad. I forgot to Lower mic.
Colin.
Yeah, Cuonzo, not to stick too much on Jeremiah, but I know he told us after the first game that this is going to be his last year, but just how much can a year in the same program with a guy like Jeremiah help someone in their development like Jordan Wilmore?
It's been very helpful up until this point, just in the teaching. I just sent him a text 2 days ago. I just really appreciate the fact that the student that he's become in the game, and now he's become a teacher because he's teaching Jordan those things as well as Parker and those guys. He's able to speaking with confidence. You know, as a young guy, sometimes you say and you kind of look around to see, did I say the right thing or looking for approval? He speaks it because he understands he's been through it. I just think the highs and lows of going through everything you go through, you have a foundation. Then you pass all the small stuff, so to speak. Like Bill said, not necessarily sweating the small things. I've matured into a young man, into a man now. It's more important things to be successful, to win basketball games, to improve my life, my lifestyle, all those things. And I think you always, whenever you see a young man graduate to that point, it's always a good thing for me as a coach because that means that's growth. And growth for everybody is not at the same time. It's not at the same pace. And it's good to see him grow.
Joel?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you saw it, Coach, but Mike Brey from Notre Dame ended up tweeting. I guess they had some games canceled, and he ended up tweeting that they were looking for some available opponents. How crazy is it to see something like that? And do you feel like you could ever stoop that low to get a game? Well, not low, but
I don't think that's stupid low. I think that's real. And again, if we wouldn't have had Oregon, that would have been something we'd have seriously looked at. But because we just solidified at Oregon, we couldn't do it. And then obviously we play Sunday. But no, you'll see quite. We had two teams text us yesterday, one Texas this morning, like Texas Tech. We just can't do it because of our schedule. But no, you'll see a lot of that. No question about it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.